All right, the Zambonis coming off the ice here. We're at the Sauk Prairie Ice Arena, Game 4 of the Water Park Classic. Last night was a nail-biter. We fought it out with the number 1 team in our division. They were undefeated. We held on to them until the last 45 seconds with a scoreless game, and they won 1-0 the last 45 seconds while we were under penalty kill. Flyers played hard last night, did a great job, and now we're getting ready to face Rockford Hockey Club. They are known as the Roadrunners. We're here at Sauk Prairie, home of Culver's. And we'll get ready for our teams to start coming out. The refs are getting on the ice now. All right, here come the Flyers. Coming out tonight, ready to face Rockford. They were the first team we faced in the tournament. Hard-fought game with them on Friday night. It was a late game. Last night was a late game for us in the Dells. We played in Baraboo, and then right now we're in Sauk Prairie, which is about a half hour south of the Dells. After this, we'll be heading home. Flyers are going to warm up. They're going to be on the left side as we start the first period here. Rockford will be on the right. Flyers are in their white jerseys. Rockford are in the blue. It'll be Leander in net. Again, we're playing here in Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. This town is the home of Culver's, their first Culver's this year. One of the fun Wisconsin facts of the day. For the Water Park Classic, the players have enjoyed spending time at the water park here in Wisconsin Dells. Last night we had a team dinner at the Moose Jaw Pizza. And the players are warming up down here. Coach Little, Coach Murphy behind the bench. All right, we're coming up to 2 minutes left for practice here. We'll see you when the puck drops. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3 Flyers over here in front of the net with Leander, heading over towards Coach for last words. First line will be, it looks like Jace at center. On the right wing will be Hayden Kim. Left wing, Werner Nail, Gus McMahon, and Cam Beckendorf on D with Leander in the net. Getting ready for drop here at Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. It's down. Jace is battling. Puck's going forward. Rockford gets a hold of it. They're in the right wing battling. Cam going backwards. Puck gets dumped. Goes behind our net. Gus is after it. Sends it forward. They make a shot and miss. Rockford shoots again. Stopped by Cam. He passes to Warner on the left wing. Battle for it. Rockford has a hold of it. They're going to shoot on Leander. Body shot. He blocked it. 2 shots blocked by Leander. Great job. Cam sends it to the center. Rockford gets it in the neutral zone. They dump it to the right wing. Puck goes into their territory. Back to the neutral zone. They're going to execute a change. Their skater gets it as he comes out, runs into traffic, and they dump it behind their net. They'll execute a line change for Rockford. Cam on the right wing has it. Battle for it. Gus knocks it back up. They center it. Rockford, no defender in front of him. They launch it, and caught by the Golden Glove of Leander. Great job, Leander. 11:59 to go here in the first period at Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. We'll have a change. Out comes Smith, Little, and Murphy with Jansen and Trey Beckendorf. Everybody's on the left except for Trey. He's on the right. Goes to left. Smith gets a hold of it. Rockford tries to shoot, and they miss wide. Trey coming after it in the right. Sends it up the boards. Battle for it in the right. Rockford throws out it. They miss. Jansen comes in on the left, gets it to our blue line. Rockford sends it back, blocked by Leander. Jansen sends it around to Murphy. Murphy gets it to our blue line. Comes back to Jansen in front of the house, and he dumps it into the neutral zone. Rockford won't touch it. It'll be icing on Ames at 11:23 in the first period. Trey Beckendorf and Jansen will stay on D. Trey will be in the right. It'll be Lunan, Bartholomew, and correct. Bartholomew taking the drop. Everybody else on the left. To the right of our goal. Bartholomew gets it, dumps it to the left. Trey comes after it, sends it forward. Correct, battles for it. Correct gets it, gets in the neutral zone with it, starts driving. Bartholomew goes up with him. Passes to Bartholomew, it'll go behind the net. Rockford will dump it around on the boards. Trey will come running after it. Comes back into Ames territory. And it'll be icing on Rockford at 10:55. All right, we'll form up to the right of the goal of Rockford. Bartholomew will take the drop. On his right will be Cam and Drew Lunan. Gus will be on D. Looks like correct is still out. Gus gets a hold of it at the blue line. And correct puts it in. So that's McMahon to correct for a goal. McMahon to correct for a goal at 10:48. All right, the Flyers put one on the board, up 1-0, 10:48 to go. First period here at Sauk Valley. All right, Bartholomew will take center. On the left will be correct. On the right will be Lunan. Cam Beckendorf, and Gus McMahon on D. Here we go. Rockford tries to drive with it. Lots of sticks. Slowing him down. It goes to our left wing. Puck's loose. McMahon gets a hold of it. He's going to send it around to Lunan on the right. Lunan goes to center to get it to correct. Puck's in the left. Rockford gets a hold of it. They dump it back in our territory, and that'll be icing on Rockford. 10:23 first period. Out will come Nail and Barber. and Kim for offense. Jansen and Trey Beckendorf on D will form to the left of the net of Rockford in their territory. Barber will be at center, taking the drop. Everybody to his right or behind him. He sends it into the corner. Rockford has it behind the net. They're driving the other way. They do a pivot, send it to their guy on the left. He's going to try and drive, and Nail comes in, kicks the skate, and the skate stops the puck, keeps it in their territory. They pass. Coming in the neutral zone. Jansen's going backwards. Swinging, gets a hold of it, sends it around to Trey in the left corner. Returned by Rockford. Jansen will get it behind the net, send it up the boards. Rockford has it. Pressure from our offense. It's like Kim puts the guy in his place and won't let him shoot. So it's going to go into their territory. We're going to battle. It's down the neutral zone. Barber launches it. It'll go to the right of the net. 9:40. Jansen comes off. Kim comes out. Rockford dumps it, and that'll be icing on Rockford. We'll form back up to the left of their net. 9:32. Ames will do another change. Out comes McMahon, Little, Smith, and Murphy. Little will be at center. Smith on the left. Right wing is Murphy. Left of the net of Rockford. Here we go. It goes to the right in front of the goalie. Rockford launches it back. McMahon gets it at the blue line, sends it back. There's a battle in the corner. Rockford decides to dump it to the neutral zone. He'll go to our right corner. Cam gets a hold of it. Drives left. Passes to center. Goes in the neutral zone. Rockford in their territory with it. They're forming up. They miss the pass. It'll come back in Ames territory. Should be icing. Won't be icing. So we'll battle in the back left. Gets loose. Smith sends it forward to Murphy. Murphy in the center is driving on his own, losing his edge. He's going in front of the goal, and the goalie will put a glove on it. Stopping play at the net. 8:51 first period. We'll form up to the left of the goal of Rockford. A little confusion on the ice, not sure what's going on. The ref is talking to the Rockford team. Yeah, it looks like they may be putting a penalty on Rockford because the box is opening. Is this going to be a penalty shot? Yeah. Looks like it'll be a penalty shot. Looks like Murphy's going to be able to take the shot. Looks like some interference, and so he would have had a reasonable expectation of being able to make a goal. So they'll let Murphy go out there and take a shot on the Rockford goalie. Mitchell Murphy had a goal in the first game of the tournament, I believe. Looking to make that a second. Refs are still talking to the coach of Rockford. Refs are coming over talking to Coach Little. Looks like they're going to keep it as a penalty shot after discussion. Murphy at center ice, looking to stare down the goalie. Refs giving him a little coaching. Let's see what Mitchell can do. Let's go Flyers. Mitchell's deking. Looking to fake out the goalie. He's coming. He shoots it. Oh, so close. Just to the right side of the red bar. Good try by Mitchell Murphy. Good try. 8:51 will form back up. Out on the ice, Cam Beckendorf, James Little, Gus McMahon, Mitchell Murphy, and Sam Smith. Looking for guidance from the ref where to form up. Looks like we'll go to the left of the goal in territory of Rockford Roadrunners. Little at center. Smith on the left, Murphy at the right. Goes left. Roadrunners get a hold of it, go behind the net. Murphy applying pressure. Knocks it away from the Roadrunners. Battle in the right corner. Sticks everywhere. One of their players loses an edge. Murphy does check. Loses his edge. Roadrunners take off. Cam is going back fast. Swinging. Puts the guy into our right corner. They center it. And it's knocked away by Leander and Gus simultaneously. Great job by our defense. Rockford has it. Driving through traffic. Murphy knocks it away to the neutral zone. Pressure from Smitty. Puck's loose in our territory. Cam swinging, puts him back in the corner. Not giving him an opportunity. He gives him a little check, kicks away the puck, and Cam sidesteps check. Blue line shot. Knocked away by Leander. Great job by Leander knocking that one away. Cam gets a hold of it. Go behind the net. He's going to dump it over to Smitty in the left way, excuse me. He tries to center, bounces off skate. In the right, Little knocks it into their territory. He's back in the neutral zone. They'll do a red line shot, miss wide. Gus will come up and get a hold of it. He's going to send it back in the Smitty gets it. He centers it to Murphy. Roadrunners intercept. Knocked away by Cam. Cam's going to take off with it in the neutral zone. He dumps it in the left corner. And that'll stop play at 7:26. We'll form up to the right of our goal. Trey and Jansen come out. It looks like Bartholomew, Luden, and Correct are out. Bartholomew at center. Luden on the right. Trey at back. Jansen and Correct on the left. It goes left. Roadrunners get it. Misfire. Trey gets it. He sends it up into the neutral zone in the right wing. In comes Correct. Poking. Poking some more. Good job, Andrew. All right, they get a hold of it. Jansen stops it in the right corner. Going to go behind the net and pass it. Back to the left, over to Correct. Nice pass by Jansen. Correct launches to center, tries to get it to Lunan. He runs into a Roadrunner. Good try, good look. Roadrunners by their goal, forming up, driving. They pass. The pass comes a little wild. Slows the player down. He's getting poked. Poked. They launch it to the right. And they fall into the net. In the left wing, there's a battle. Bartholomew's battling, gets it in the neutral zone. The defense comes in and scoops it. They're going to center it, and they're going to drive back. Correct, giving pressure. Here comes Trey. They make a quick stop, put it back to the defender, launch it, and in the golden glove of Leander, he stops the puck at 6:26. Great job by Leander. Good stop. Forming up to the right of our goal. Kim and Gus are out on D. Werner and Jace and Hayden. Jace will take it at the drop. Everybody else to the left. There's a battle for it. It goes wild and to the left. Nail gets a hold of it. Nail gets it to the red line for a battle. Puck comes across to the right wing. Cam gets a hold of it, dumps it to the red line. Roadrunners try and make something happen. They get pressure again from Cam. Nail comes in. They'll battle for it in the left wing. Barber gets a hold of it, and he's going to turn the engine on and get running. He's going to make a little shot there. It's going to go and kicked away by one of the defenders. Werner shoots it. Cross ice. Roadrunners desperately trying to get out of their territory. They get it to the neutral zone. Take off with it, and Cam gives it a little poke, and they can't make a shot. It's behind the net. They center it in front of Leander and shoot on Leander and red bar. Shoot again. Leander defended the first one, and they came over the stick on the right arm on the last one, and that'll put one on the board for the Rockford Roadrunners, tying it 1-1 at 5:37 in the first period here at Sauk Prairie. With that, we'll do a line change. Out comes Little at center, Smith on the left, Murphy on the right wing. Trey and Jansen will be on D. Leander in net. Here we go. Little moves it forward. Roadrunners have it at the blue line. They send it back. Jansen stops, makes a brick wall. Puck goes loose. Comes back for a battle at the blue line on the right. Sticks everywhere. Bodies on the ground. Roadrunners send it back to their territory. They're forming up for a drive. 4 bodies in front of them. Put them into the boards. Nice check by Hayden. It's behind the net. Jansen coming in. Works on a good check. They try to center and miss. It goes to Smitty. He gets a hold of it. Battle in the right corner over there by Rockford. It comes across the side to the left. Smitty comes in to apply pressure. It goes to the right corner of Rockford. Jansen at the blue line looking to stop it. Looks like Little gets a hold of it before it gets there and puts it back in the corner. In that right corner there's a battle. Pressure from Little again. They center it. Rockford gets a hold of it. They're driving in their left. Here comes Rockford. Jansen and Cam are backing up. Leander's out front. They launch. Bounces off the helmet of Leander. That's one way to stop a puck, Leander. Blue line shot. Bounces off some skates. They're going to try and shoot again. Knocked away by Smith. Looks like Murphy has it. He's at the red line, battling in the corner. Up against the boards is a battle. 3-on-1 on Murphy. It comes loose. They center. Knocked away by Joe Bartholomew, who's now out. With Mr. Correct, they go to the right corner with it. Line change. Out comes Gus and Lunan. Cam has it. He's in the center. He's going to launch it at the goalie. Bounces off the goalie. Shot by Cam. Left of the blue line is Gus. Puck's loose. Cam gets a hold of it, dumps it, passes to Lunan. It's going to go back into the bench of Rockford at 3:43. Action-packed drive there by both teams. All right, we have Bartholomew at center, Correct in the left wing, Lunan on the right wing. We're going to form up in the neutral zone on the Rockford half. McMahon and Cam Beckendorf on D. It goes forward into the Rockford territory. They're going to dump it to the red line. Cam sends it back up to Lunan. There's a battle with Joe and Lunan here in the right corner. Puck's loose. Ooh, collision. Rockford gets it to the left of their goal. It comes to center. Gus launches it. Knocked away by one of their defenders. Good shot by Gus. Correct battling in the left of the blue line. Puck's loose. Gus comes in, stops like a stone wall, stops the drive, but one of their guys picks it up. Cam is swinging. They're going to try and scoop it and shoot. Moving through traffic. Leander knocks that one away. Good job by Leander. Battle behind the net. It goes over to Correct to the left. He's going to try and get it past the blue line. Two Rockford players there to intercept. Gus drops it behind the net. Cam's going to chuck it forward to Lunan. It's going to go into the neutral zone. 2:46 to go in first period. We're going to have a line change. Out comes Barber. Barber gets it in the neutral zone, moves forward, passes to Correct. Passes, well, goes to the right. Lunan gives a good check. Cam Beckendorf gets it to our blue line. Looking for someone to pass it to. It gets loose. Gus comes in. He's going to try and pass. Passes it up to Barber, who puts it in the right corner. Out comes Trey. Out comes Hayden. They launch it. It'll cross. It won't be icing. Trey gets it. Sends it up the boards. Rockford has it. Cross ice. Pass. There's just nobody there. Goes to the other side. Behind the net, they're driving on Leander. Knocked away by Barber. Good job, Barber. Behind the net, Gus has it now. He's going to send it up the boards to Werner. Intercepted. They make a little shot on Leander. He knocks it away. Battle behind the net. Gus sends it to Werner again. Goes to center. It's in the neutral zone, and Barber and Hayden and Werner go three abreast, trying to get it through the neutral zone and run into traffic. Jansen's out at the blue line, stops the puck, sends it back to their territory. Rockford has it in their territory. They try and pass it up. Cam is ready. They try to center it, and they miss with a shot. Jansen in the left will center it. It'll go in the neutral zone and then bounce back into their territory. Rockford has it behind the net. Werner and Hayden are applying pressure. They decide to do a pass off the boards. Gets to the neutral zone. They're going to try and pass it again. Jansen stops it on the left side. It's going airborne. Stopped by one of the Rockford players. He's behind the net, driving around Leander. Trey is swinging. Rockford looking to do something, and he's hitting traffic from everybody. He's going to try and launch it. Nope. It's loose. Goes in the neutral zone. A different Rockford player has it. Rockford shoots. Misses to the left. Jansen will get it and rip it up the boards into the neutral zone. Rockford stops it at their blue line. Line change coming out. Little's out. Cam is out. Smith is out. In the left wing, they send it. It goes to center ice. Rockford gets a hold of it. Goes back to Jansen in front of our goal. He launches it into the neutral zone. Tries to get it to Cam. Lots of skates. Bouncing off. Little fighting for it. Loses an edge. Rockford gets it in their territory. 6 seconds to go here in the first period. Come on, Flyers. Rockford launches it at Leander. Knocked away by Leander. And Jansen will slap it in the neutral zone. And that'll end the first period here at the Sauk Valley Ice Arena. It's tied at 1. We'll see you in a second. All right, we got the 1-2-3 Flyers. Coach Little imparting some wisdom with the team. Ames will switch to the right. Out comes the line of Little, Smith, Murphy. Cam Beckendorf, Gus McMahon on D to start the puck drop at center ice. Second period, Sauk Valley Ice Arena. We're at the Water Park Classic here. Tied at 1. Let's start the second period. Little takes the drop, sends it forward. Scooped up by Rockford. They're going to try and drive. Defense is swinging. Puck goes to the right of the net. They're behind the net with it. In comes McMahon to apply pressure. They send it backwards. In comes Little. Gives a good check. Cam gets a hold of it, sends it to the blue line. They're going to launch it across ice and shoot. Big collision in front of the net. Players down. Everybody gets back up. They make a shot. It bounces off one of the bodies. Driving is Murphy. He's in the left wing. He's going to try a shot. You got 2-on-1. Loses an edge. They're going to dump it in the neutral zone, trying to get away from us. Our defense is racing after it, swinging. They're going to stop and launch, and they're going to miss their shot. Good job, Flyers, giving pressure. Battle in our left corner. Gets up to Smith, tries to center it. Rockford intercepts. Double check against Rockford there. Gus gets it back in the left corner, comes back through the back of our goal, runs over someone like a bulldozer. Good job. Lots of pressure here, but there's going to be a penalty and probably on Little, I'm guessing, as soon as we get a hold of it. Rockford gets a hold of it behind the net. Pressure from Smith. Rockford starts driving. It'll be a delayed penalty here. Rockford has it. They're driving. Ames is swinging. They launch. Stopped by Leander. And there'll be a penalty on Ames. I think it's going to be on Mr. Little. Yep, they're going to put Mr. Little in the box, and Ames will have its first penalty kill at 11:35 in the second period. Rockford executes a line change. All right, out comes correct Bartholomew. They'll be the offensive line with Gus and Cam staying on D. We're going to form up to the right of our goal. 11:35, second period. 2-minute penalty on Mr. Little. All right. It's at the blue line. Pressure comes back. Rockford has it. Trying to look for an opportunity to center. Getting some stick from Cam. Their player loses an edge. Can't get it centered. It goes in the right corner. Gus comes in. Fouls up their pass. Gus gets a hold of it on the rebound. Drives it past the blue line. Here we go. Comes in front of our bench. Rockford intercepts it. They're going to try and drive. Bartholomew's poking. Takes away the puck. Battle in our left corner. Knocked forward by the defense. Rockford gets it in the neutral zone and drives. And they'll end up in our right corner. Gus is battling for it. 2-on-1 against him. They try and center it. Knocked away by Cam. They're coming around the other side of Leander. They do another directional turn. Center it to the blue line. See if they do it. They're going to shoot it. Leander will put a glove on the puck at 10:40 and stop play. Great stop by Leander. Rockford will execute a line change. Ames under 1 minute and 5 seconds. A penalty kill to go. Okay, Ames is changing out the defense. It'll be Trey and RJ. And then Werner and I can't tell the other player. I think it's Murphy. Yep, Murphy coming out. Murphy will be at center. Murphy sends it to the right. Comes back around behind the net. Jansen gets a hold of it, rips it up to, I believe that's Werner. Yep, Werner driving. He's in the left corner. He's trying to come around the net. Sticks with the Roadrunners. It goes loose. Back in the corner, 2-on-1 against Werner. He's in the boards. All right, Roadrunners are coming out with it. Ames heading back to the neutral zone. Good pass by Roadrunners, but they're in the neutral zone. Got 2 defenders in front of them. They're keeping it away from the net. They're going to try and stop. It's like our defense swung on it, and they put it. Roadrunners put it in the air. It bounces up in the net, and they'll stop play at 10:05. 30 seconds of penalty kill for Ames left. Tied at 1 in the second period here at Sauk Valley. Sauk Prairie, excuse me. All right, taking the drop. Goes forward. Roadrunners stopping at the blue line. Battling is Trey in our back right corner. They try and center it. Stopped by Gus. Or nope, that's RJ, excuse me. Good job. It goes in the neutral zone. Roadrunners coming back with it. They're going to center. Launch it at Leander and try and cross him, but they miss. Goes into our left corner. RJ applies pressure and gets it to the right corner where the ref is. Trey puts a good check on someone. Stops their progress. Jansen gets it behind the net. Rips it up. It'll cross the neutral zone on the left side. Racing after it is Little, who just came out. Whoa, he gets checked. Good job taking that check. Roadrunners have it. They're driving the blue line. Bartholomew's out. He slows the progress. Warner comes in swinging. Aims at full strength. It'll go back into our left corner. Jansen gets it. Battles for it. Little gets a hold of it. And he gets behind the net looking for an opportunity to pass it. Sends it up the boards. Stopped at the blue line by the Roadrunners. Roadrunners launch it at Leander. And they miss. In that left side, Jansen sends it up into the neutral zone. Warner applying pressure to this offensive player. Puts him in the boards. Good check. All right, we're in the back right corner. Cam is there, applying pressure. Behind the net. Jansen guarding the house. They launch it. Kicks off some skates. Roadrunners have it again. Launch again. Goes behind the net. Jansen comes to the back right corner. It comes forward. Goes to the neutral zone. In comes Barber. Kicked away by the Roadrunners in their territory. Goes back to Jansen at the blue line and bounces off a player. Nice battle in front of the ref. Hopefully don't hit him. All right, Roadrunners have it in their corner. They're going to try and launch it to mid-ice. They do. It goes loose. In comes Correct. He's applying pressure in our right wing. Good job, Andrew. It goes behind the net. Here comes Jansen after it again. He launches it up to the blue line. Roadrunners return it, and it misses to the left of Leander. 7:58 to go, first period. Roadrunners have it behind our net. Jansen applying pressure. Roadrunners have it in the corner. They have someone bump into them. It goes back and across, and it'll go behind the net of the Roadrunners, and they'll stop play for offsides. 7:47 in the second period. It's tied at 1 at Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. All right, looks like we have Cam Beckendorf and Gus McMahon out on D. We have the Little Smith Murphy line out. We're forming up to the left of our net. Little at center. He sends it over, goes to the blue line. Roadrunners looking for an opportunity to launch it. They launch it at Leander. He knocks it away. Great job, Leander. Behind the net, Roadrunners have it again. Little applying pressure. Comes forward to Murphy. Gets under his feet. He loses it a little bit in traffic. A lot of traffic today. Murphy tries to send it back. Goes to Gus. Gus looks to launch it up. It'll bounce and go forward and behind the net of Rockford, and that'll be icing on Ames. 7:20 in the second period. We're going to form to the right of our net. Line change for Rockford. Ames will stay the same. Little will be at center. Cam will be behind him on the right. Everybody else will be on the left of Mr. Little. Leander at net. It goes back towards our team. We're driving with it. I think that's Mr. Murphy driving with it. He gets checked. Puck is loose in the neutral zone. There's a battle for it in the left wing. Under a bunch of feet. Lots of traffic. Rockford gets it in their corner, looking for a place to go. They decide to send it up the board. Stopped by Gus, but they get a bounce. They're in our right. They're trying to center it. Pressure from Cam. Good job, Cam. They try to send it in front of Leander. It bounces. Murphy gets a hold of it in the right wing. Crosses the red line with it. Traffic. 2-on-1 against Murphy. 3-on-1 against Murphy. Ames is going to do a line change while Murphy, gets a really bad back check to Murphy. That'll be a penalty on Rockford. Mr. Murphy's up. That's good. All right, we have Bartholomew and Smith out right now. We'll see who stays out. That should be a 2-10. Let's see what they do. Refs are talking to the coach. $6:39 to go. Second period, tied at 1. Rockford coach talking to the refs. It was a bad back check by Rockford. I'm hoping that's a 2-10. We'll see what happens. I assume that's with the discussion with the coach. Ames fighting hard. Early morning game. All right, they're going to do a 2 and 10. Looks like they're opening the door up. Their Rockford coach has to decide who to put in the box. All right, they're putting the second player in. It will be a 2 and 10. All right, we have Cam and Trey out on D at the moment. Murphy, Little, and Smith, it looks like, on offense. We're going to form up to the left of the goal of Rockford, it looks like. It'll be power play for Ames. 2 in the front left wing for us. So it'll be in front of the net of Rockford. Refs are talking to the scorekeeper. So they can get this put in. It'll be a 2-minute power play for Ames. All right, refs are done talking to the scorekeeper. We'll see if we can get started here. Again, we're to the left of the goal at Rockford. We're at full strength. Oh, they're going to change it. They're going to go to the right of the goal of Rockford. We're at full strength, 5-on-4. Ames penalty or power play. Let's go Flyers. We're going to see who's at center. Say Murphy at center. Smith on the left. On the right is Little. Beckendorf brothers on D. He sends it forward. It goes behind the net. Rockford has it. They're looking for someone to pass to. He's deking it. He's going to dump it. Goes back to Cam. Puck's loose. He passes over to Trey, it looks like. Comes loose at center ice. Rockford gets a hold of it. They dump it deep into our territory, and Cam will get a hold of it behind the net. He's going left and right. He passes over to Trey. Trey sends it up to Smitty, who gets it across the blue line of Rockford, but it bounces off a player. In the left wing, it's Beckendorf. Trey. He gets it over to Little. He dumps it back. Cam at the blue line. Cam's going to send it to Trey on the left wing. Trey sends it across. Tries to get it to Murphy, and it gets off a skate. Murphy sends it to Cam, in the right wing. Battle in front of the net. Puck gets back to the right. Little's going after it. Battle on the boards. Pressure from Murphy. Smitty will go after it behind the net. In comes Trey from the other side. Look in the center. Knocked away by the Roadrunners. Little passes back to Cam. Cam to Trey on the left. He tries to center it. We're in front of the net. Battle. And they put a glove on it. Good battle for the Flyers. Power play's got 45 seconds to go. We're applying pressure. Rockford will do a line change, and we'll form up to the right of the Rockford goal. Ames under power play. 5:24 to go here at the Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. Second period. All right, at center is Murphy. To the right was Little, left is Smith. Same line staying out. Putting pressure on Rockford, putting him in the corner. They put it in the air. It'll go back to center ice. Cam gets a hold of it. Looking for someone to send it to. Passes to his left. It bounces off the boards. Gets into the territory of Rockford. Rockford sends it back. Cam has it. Sends it back. They're going to call offsides at 5 minutes. 21 seconds left under Ames power play. Let's go Flyers. And there'll be a line change. Out comes Lunan, correct, and Bartholomew. Jansen and looks like Trey will stay out. We'll form up in the neutral zone. To our left, our half. Taking the drop is Joe Bartholomew. At center. Let's see how we do this. He sends it to the right. With Jansen, it gets in the air. Jansen sends it for a pass off the boards. Gets to the red line and the blue line of the Rockford. They send it back. Trey's in the left. Passes to center. Rockford gets a hold of it. They're going to launch it down the boards. It bounces off a player. Joe sends it to center. It goes off to the right wing. In comes our player. Rockford puts it in the air, and it bounces off a helmet. One of our players on the bench, and that'll stop play at 4:35. Both teams are at full strength. Their player that did a back cross-check off of Mr. Murphy is still in the box. He's under the 2 and 10. But both teams are at 5, full strength. 4:35 to go. All right, Bartholomew at center. On his left is correct. On his right is Lunan. Jansen and Trey on defense. Battle in the right. Lunan tries to rip it. It bounces off a player. Oh, nice steal by Bartholomew. He launches it to center in the air. Stopped by the Roadrunner player. He sends it again to correct. It gets under his feet. Oh, almost loses an edge there. Puck is loose. Comes to the left. Trey gets a hold of it. Trey's going to send it up to correct. It bounces off the ref. It's going to go back into our territory. It'll go behind the net. It's fair. Roadrunners and Jansen are going to get involved. They'll go in the corner where Trey applies pressure. Left corner, they're going to launch it. Blocked by our defense. Battle in front of the net. Jansen tries to send it around the back. Comes up to, I think, correct. Correct sends it to the neutral zone. Roadrunners have it. Lunen's open. He's in the left wing. He's trying to get it in. Jogue and correct are trying to battle for it. Roadrunners get a hold of it. Jansen going backwards, swinging, trying to stop the drive. Puts it at the red line. Good job by Jansen. In the right wing, I think that's Lunan. He sends it over, tries to get it loose. It comes backwards. All right, we've got it. Looks like Joe driving in the right wing. Going up at center is Lunan. Far left is correct. They pass the center to Lunan's. Tangled up. Cam is out. He gets a hold of it. He launches it. Bounces off the helmet of the goalie. Great shot by Cam. Shot on goal by Cam. Right wing, there's a battle for it. It's going backwards to the neutral zone. Gus came out. It went right past Gus as he came out on the ice. Cam gets a hold of it. He's in front of the net. He sends it to the right to Gus. Gus tries to pass. Gets loose under the skate. In the neutral zone, they're coming after Leander. Leander knocks it off to the left. Good ice awareness by Leander. Blue line shot. Battle in front of the net. It's knocked back to the blue line. We have it in the left wing. We're driving. Oh, they make a sandwich out of Andrew correct, but he keeps going forward. Good job, Andrew. Rockford gets a hold of it. They dump it in the corner and they do a line change. Back right, back left corner, it's Gus sending it forward. Stopped at the red line by Rockford. Pressure from correct. In comes Barber, fighting for it. It goes airborne backwards towards our net. Cam is turning on the speed. He's going to take it behind the net. Getting poked. He's going to deke it. Poking. They're still poking against him. And they get it knocked back into our right corner. Gus will be back there fighting for it. 2-on-1 against Gus. Rockford now has it. They're going to launch it up the boards to their player at the blue line. It goes in the air over by there, and there's a battle in the left corner. That looks like Barber is fighting for it, along with Gus. Rockford has it. They center it. Their player isn't quite ready. He launches it at Leander and bounces off his pads. Good job, Leander. There's a battle for it. It's going back to the left corner. 3-on-1 against Gus. Barber comes in to try and stop it. It's going to get dumped for icing. Oh, no, it's going to hit the goalie. Hey, good job. Oh, cross ice launch by Cam. Good ice awareness. He dumps it right at the goalie. Great shot from our goal. Gus at our blue line gets a hold of it, and they're going to call offsides at 1:20 in the second period. It's tied at 1. That was an exciting little run there. All right, out comes the Little Smith Murphy line, along with Jansen and Trey Beckendorf on D. We're going to form up to the right of our goal. Minute 20 left in the second period, tied at 1. At center is Little. Little battle, sends it right. Battle for it. Rockford tries to get it to center. Jansen knocks it away, gets it to the blue line. Puck comes back. Rockford looking to center. Passing, comes to the blue line. Murphy tries to get it. Comes back to Trey. Trey's going to try and dump it backwards. Murphy gets it. Murphy's taking off in the right wing. He's on his own. Got 2-on-1. They're going to put him to the corner. He's fighting for it. He's giving him heck. All three players go down. In comes Little, I think, here. He's trying to get it out, but there's 3 players on the ground. A little poking going on. Smith, is headed to intercept. He stops the drive. 36 seconds. 2-on-1 against Smith. Puck's still there. Little comes in. Feisty Little knocks it away, gets it back to the defense. Jansen tries to pass it to center, and there's 3 of them running into the center. Oh. All right, Smith gets a hold of it, launches it, hits a player with it. Murphy tries to center it. They all fall down. Lots of guys losing an edge. Cam's in the right corner. He's trying to get it in. He goes back for a line change. Out comes Trey. That was Trey. Out comes Cam. Blue line, Cam has it. Lots of traffic. Jansen has, he's going to rip it. Bounced off a skater in the front of the net, and that'll be the end of the second period here. Action-packed second period here for both teams. Hard driving on both sides. It's tied at 1. We'll see you in the third period.
Yeah, the beast back, adrenaline pumping through my veins. But I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy.
That was Warner to RJ. What a pass.
When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss, and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something. My focus is A1. Every dog has its day. It's been mine since day one. This is real grinding. I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you, and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard.
All right, Coach Little's talking to the team on the bench. Getting ready to start the third period here. Ames will be on the left. Third period here at Sauk Prairie, Wisconsin. 1, 2, 3 Flyers, and we're going to form it up. So we played Rockford on Friday night. Rockford won 4-2. Right now, Ames is fighting hard. We're tied at 1 as we get ready to start the third period. This will be the Smith, Little, Murphy line. On D will be Cam and Gus to start the third period. Let's see how this goes. Rockford's still in front of the coach. Rockford has 1 player serving the latter half of the 2 and 10. All right, Leander, let's go. Show them what you got. All right, Leander's getting psyched. Little at center, Murphy on the right, Smith on the left. There we go, it goes left. Rockford breaks away. Cam swings and takes it away. Nice job by Cam. They get a hold of it, they dump it in front by the net. Leander knocks it away. Murphy takes off with it, gets into the neutral zone. Smith goes up with him. He's going to launch it. Bounces off the goalie. Good shot by Murphy. There's a little kerfuffle in front of the net. It goes to the right. Cam blue line tries to get it to Murphy, and it gets stopped by the Roadrunners, but it goes in the corner. Murphy and the Roadrunner are down, so Smith will come in. He sends it to center. It bounces off a player. Roadrunners have it. They're going to pounce past it. Cam's going to come in front of, get a hold of it, send it into the neutral zone. Good pass to Smith. Or excuse me, I guess that's Murphy. To McMahon. McMahon to Little. Little will just send it up the boards, and we'll do a line change. McMahon and Cam are covering D while we change offense. Out comes Lunan, Correct, and Bartholomew. They're driving 2-on-1. They launch it, Leander, and he knocks it away. In the left, Correct knocks it. It'll go into the neutral zone. Good job by Mr. Correct. All right, center ice. Roadrunners have it. They're going. Gus is ready. He's swinging. They launch it up and over Leander's head. And the left side, Correct, is poking. Good poke check. They try to pass it to their guy in the left wing, and they miss the pass. Back in the left of a wing of the Ames. We knock it into their territory. And the defense will change, and out will come Trey and RJ. All right, one of our players goes flying into the right corner. Loses an edge. There's a battle for it. Roadrunners have it. They're going to try and center it. Oh, they run into one of our players. That was Mr. Correct. I think they took a hit there. Puck's loose. Goes to the center of the territory of Rockford. They'll go back in the corner. They're going to dump it over. Joe fights for it. Good job. All right, Roadrunners have it. That'll be in the right corner for us. Ames looking for an opportunity. They're going to try and send it. It comes back to Trey at the red line. He sends it to center. Roadrunners get a hold of it. Ooh, knocked backwards by Bartholomew. He puts it back in Roadrunner territory. Mr. Correct comes off with his line. Just the defense out. Just Trey and RJ. Out comes Hayden. Warner and Barber, I think, is who this is. Nope, that's Murphy and Warner. All right, Cam gets a hold of the blue line, sends it back. Murphy comes in fighting for it with Warner. It gets loose. Roadrunners have it. They're at the center. Trying to go to the back pass. It's stopped by Hayden. Good job, Hayden. In front of our net, Warner applying pressure. Puts someone into the boards with a good check. Holds on to him. Puck gets loose. Battle for it in center ice. They're going to dump it in the air. It'll go in the corner to our right, and Jansen will get a hold of it. Jansen's going to back pass it off the boards. Good job. Comes back to Jansen. Goes back over to Cam. RJ rips it across for a good pass to Warner. Warner, I think, is taking off with it here. Yep. He gets it in the territory of the Roadrunners and gets back in the left corner for a battle. Out will come Gus, and I think that's Bartholomew. Yep. Gus at the blue line is going to rip it. It bounces off a player. Good job by Gus. In the right corner of Ames, they're battling behind the net of Rockford. And we launch it at the goalie, and he puts a glove on it, stopping play at 9:14. We'll form up to our right of the Rockford goal. All right, let's see who the line will be. It looks like we've got Barber and Bartholomew and Smith out on this line. And then we have Cam and Gus on D. Again, to our right of the Rockford goal. Referee's talking to the scorekeeper. And now talking to the coach of Rockford, trying to see what's going on here. 9:14 to go, third period, tied at 1. Again, we're fighting hard here today, playing against the Rockford Roadrunners. Maybe it's a penalty we're going to put on Rockford. Okay, Rockford is going in the box, so it must be a penalty on Rockford. No, they're staying at 5. So it must be the 2 and 10. They must have let the guy out early. That's my best guess here. All right, both teams.
I think it's still the 2 and 10.
Yep, so it's the 2 and 10 we're thinking. They let the guy out early, so they're just correcting that. The red line we're battling. Barber in there in front of the bench of Rockford. He gets it back to Gus, who passes to Cam. Cam at the red line, looking for someone to send it to. Sends it at the goalie. Slightly left of the goal. Good try, Cam. Good look. All right, we're in front of the box of Rockford, and Gus puts it in the air. Joe gets a hold of it, tries to launch it, gets a stick from Rockford to stop his shot. Good try, Joe. All right, we're behind the net. It comes loose to blue line. Launched by Gus. Bounces off the goalie. Good shot on goal by Gus. All right. Cam gets it at the blue line. He sends it back up the boards. It goes across and into the back corner in the left corner, excuse me. Now it's back in our right corner. Comes back to the blue line to Cam and Barber, it looks like. Barber tries to send it up. Goes behind the net on the boards. One of our guys is behind the boards. Tries to stop it. It goes loose. Coming back to the blue line of Rockford. Gus gets a hold of it. Sends it back behind the net. Barber giving chase behind the net. And then it looks like Smitty's in there fighting for it. They're trying to get in front of the net, and the goalie of Rockford will leap forward and put a glove on it and stop play at 7:47 in the third period. And both teams will execute a line change here. Again, tied at 1, third period, 7:47 to go. We have Lunan, Trey, RJ, Mitchell, and Mr. Correct out for our offense. Murphy at center, Lunan on the right, Andrew on the left. All right, here we go. Roadrunners have it behind their net. Execute a quick turn. They try and pass forward. In comes Trey to stop the drive. Good job. Battle in our right corner. Looks like Drew and I think that's Murphy fighting for it. Nope, Murphy fighting for it in the right corner. Puck comes loose. Defensive motion. They're going to try and come to our left wing. Pressure. Jansen's going to put him in the corner. Sends it forward to center. Rockford gets a hold of it. Kicked away by Leander. Great stop by Leander. He kicks it away. at the blue line of Ames. It comes back to Jansen on the boards. They apply pressure. It comes behind the net, and Trey will launch it to the other side to Andrew Correct. He's battling. Puck goes loose. Roadrunner tries to send it to Leander, and he puts a glove on it, and he'll stop play. Great stop by Leander at 6:53. All right. Leander fighting hard here today. We'll do a line change, and out will come our next line. Looks like Bartholomew, Hayden, Werner, Cam, and Gus. We'll form up to the left of our goal with Joe taking the drop. Trying to get it forward. Rockford under there with skates. Bartholomew gets it with it and gets it across to the neutral zone. Good job, Joe. All right, they're going to push it back to our territory. Cam gets a hold of it behind the back, tosses it into the territory of Rockford. Nice play there by Cam. Rockford behind the net, pressure from Warner. They decide to pass it forward and miss. Comes to the neutral zone. Gus gets it at the red line and puts it to center. Nice pass to Warner. Warner bounces it off the boards, trying to make a run around one of their players. Great job by Warner. All right, they're going to pass it. Gus is coming out, trying to swing and stop the shot. They try to center it, and they're stopped by Cam. They'll come around the side of Leander. They can't get it. It comes up to Hayden. Hayden sends it to the blue line. Comes back to our corner. Gus gets a hold of it. Rockford, three of them are losing the run of their skates. They're trying to hit it. Gus is poking. Looks like Joe, I think, is giving chase there. They launch it at Leander. He knocks it away. Rockford definitely fighting here. Goes back to our left corner. Gus gets in there fighting with two of their players at the boards. One of their players is losing an edge. Joe gets a hold of it, sends it up the boards, tries to get it to Hayden. It goes in the neutral zone. Warner's swinging at the blue line of Rockford, trying to take it away, and they launch it across ice. Here comes Rockford driving in our right wing. Oh. Battle in our left side. Cam's over there trying to get it out of the danger zone. He'll send it around the boards to our right wing. And Rockford will get a hold of it and drive. They're going to try and launch it to Leander. There's three players in front of the net. He can't quite get it, so it goes in the neutral zone. Red line, one of the players of Rockford has it. Looking for a place to go. He sends it at Leander, and he knocks it away with a stick. Great job by Leander. In comes Murphy. Murphy has it behind the net, does a quick turn, sends it forward to Warner. It'll get loose. It's going to cross into the territory of Rockford, and that'll be icing, and that'll stop play at 4:39 in the third period here at the Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. It's tied at 1 with 4:39 to go. All right, we have Jansen and Trey out on D. We have Smith, Barber, and Murphy on offense. Smith will take the drop. Offense is to the right. In front of our net to the left. Trey gets a hold of it. Tries to send it forward. It gets loose. Rockford sending it backwards, blindly behind their backs. It gets nowhere. Barber comes in and gets it into the neutral zone with a good shot. Comes back into our right wing. Jansen gets a hold of it, bounces it. Battle here on the right. Nice. We center it, get it to Barber in the neutral zone. He launches it at the goalie, and the goalie knocks it away. Good shot by Barber. Battle behind the net. Getting physical. Right corner of it, our right. Looks like we're battling here. Two of our guys. One of them Smith. The other one I think is Murphy. Battling. RJ's moving his stick, trying to get them attention to get it back to him. Roadrunners get a hold of it. They're going to try and come behind the net. They launch it at the net. They bounce it off the red bar. In the left is a Beckendorf brother. He sends it to center to Smitty. It gets under his skates. Jansen's here at the blue line, poking. Trey is poking. Gets in the left side. Collision with Barber. They try and launch it. It bounces off somebody. It'll go in the neutral zone again. 3:22 to go. Center ice. Smith gets a hold of it. It bounces off his stick. Roadrunners are going to turn with it. Pressure. Jansen at the boards. Stops the drive. Murphy gets a hold of it, dumps it to the other side, the left wing. Blue line, Roadrunners shoot it. It goes way over Leander's head. In the right, Jansen stops like a brick wall, stops the drive. Behind the net. They try to center it in front of Leander, and Cam gets a hold of it. He takes off with it. Center ice, Cam has it. He's going to drive to the right and let Ames do a line change, and he dumps it behind the net. Great job by Cam to give pressure off of Ames so we can do a line change. We've got Bartholomew correct and Lunan, and Gus is out on D. It's one-on-one against Leander. They launch it, and Leander stops. Another shot against Leander, knocked away by Cam. Roadrunners shoot it again, and he puts a glove on it. Great stop by Leander. That's 3 shots on goal against Leander. He stops all 3. 2:25 to go. Third period here at Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. All right, Flyers will form up to the right of the net. At center is Joe Bartholomew. To the left is Mr. Correct. To the right is Mr. Lunan. Cam and Gus on D. Here we go. Battle still at the drop. Puck goes to the blue line. They launch it at Leander. He kicks it away. Great job by Leander. Behind the net, they have it. Gus comes swinging, takes the puck away. It gets loose again. Bartholomew's fighting to take off with it. Got a guy on his skates there, fighting. Comes back. Gus knocks it forward. Blue line. They launch it again. Leander knocks it away. Knocked away by Joe. He gets it to the blue line. They're just dumping every direction here. All right. Cam's going to send it back around the boards to the blue line. Rockford will get a hold of it at the red line. Pressure from Correct. Won't let him go anywhere. They decide to dump it blindly. Comes out, gets loose. Trey is out. He sends it forward to Correct. Correct driving. Get 2-on-1 against him, though. All right, Bartholomew has it. He sends it to center. It bounces off a Rockford player. Rockford driving down center. Jansen's out. He's swinging and slowing down, acting like a roadblock. It comes to his left, and Correct gets a hold of it. And it goes airborne, bouncing off a player, and they'll stop play at 1:16 in the third period. We'll finish up a line change here, it looks like. All right, we have Barber, Murphy, and Warner Nail out here on this line. Murphy will be the center. Will be in the neutral zone on our left. Jansen and Trey on D. Both teams at full strength. Minute 16 to go. Tied at 1. Comes back to Trey. Trey knocks it up to Barber, who sends it over to Werner in the left wing. Werner's going to try and make something happen. He makes an abrupt stop. Puck's loose. They're driving. Trey's getting big. He gets into it with them and knocked away by Leander. Great job by Leander. Knocks it away with a player who crashes into him. Battle in our left wing. It comes to center. Jansen uses his body and stops like a catcher. Stop a guy running after home plate. Barber gets a hold of it. Passes to Murphy. Murphy's going to drive left. Nail in the center. Barber on the right. Oh, they collide into Murphy. Man, that should be a penalty. Okay. It'll be in the right corner. Rockford, 30 seconds to go. Tied at 1. There's a battle for it. Barber launches it. Bounces off. Shot on goal for Barber. Blue line. Cam gets a hold of it. He's going to send it over. Rockford will get a hold of it. 13 seconds to go. They're going to dump it. That should be icing. Yep, that'll be icing. 9 seconds to go on Rockford. So we'll form up in Rockford territory. It's tied at 1. Nail biter here, folks. Tied at 1. 9 seconds to go. Third period. Ames will do a line change. That must be a timeout because both teams are going to the bench. 9 seconds to go. All right, Flyers looking to get a W here today. Coach over there with the board giving a play for the team for the last 9 seconds. Let's see what sort of hockey idea he comes over with to make this a great 9 seconds for us, folks. Flyers been fighting hard. Lots of shots on goal against Leander. He's been knocking them away, doing a great job. The offense has been down there, keeping this in the territory of Rockford. Defense has been keeping that puck away from Leander. Great, great plays. Looks like we're going to pull the goalie, folks. We're going to go out with 6. Leander's sitting down. Nine seconds to go. Why not? All right, looks like we're going to form up on our right, to the right of the goal of Rockford. We're going to go out with 6 players. All right, we got Smith, Nail, Murphy, Cam, Joe Bartholomew, Andrew Correct. Can't see the other one. Looks like Trey. Oh, they're going to call one back. They got too many. 1, 2, 3. Yep, they had 7, so Trey will go back in. Taking the drop will be Joe. Offense to the left. Smitty to the right. We're going to see if we can't get this in 9 seconds. Let's go, Flyers! Goes in the left corner. Rockford's going to dump it around, try and get away from our offense. 3 seconds. They're going to dump it at the empty net. Oh, empty net, empty net. Oh, it goes in, but it goes in after the buzzer, so the game ends 1-1. No goal, no goal. Oh, my goodness. That was exciting, folks. What an exciting game. Third period, tied at 1. Empty net. It comes back, and it almost was an empty net goal for Rockford. Great job by the Flyers. Good play by Coach Little. And that'll end our time here at the Water Park Classic. Thanks for joining us, folks. You've been listening to the Ames Hockey Network.